Winter is here, the days are getting darker and it's horribly cold outside. And this can be the time where you really need some TLC, and nothing is better TLC than the Danish Art of Hygge, making yourself feel cozier and more intimate and generally happier and more hibernatey. So today I'm going to share with you my favorite ways of exploring the art of hygge, which can make your life a lot lovelier. YouTubers, I'm Emma Jane, your life coach on the couch, coming to you from Reroute Your Life. Now, with the winters drawing in and the days getting darker, it can be really hard to feel happy in life because we're getting less vitamin D. And I used to struggle with this time of year all the time until I moved to Scandinavia and began to live in Denmark. And there I found this cultural concept, this lifestyle choice called hygge. Now, hygge is a word that it's really hard to explain in English. I'll try and give you an idea. It's that feeling of coziness you have under a warm duvet when you wake up on a winter's morning. That feeling of contentment when you're drinking a cup of hot chocolate, looking at the rain outside of the window and you're all warm and snugly inside. It's basically a feeling of contentment, but it's also more than that. It's a feeling of happiness, a feeling of celebration, and a feeling of wellness. Now, what makes the Danes really different to other countries in the world is that they practice the art of hygge. Now, this is like a cultural stamp. You know how the word freedom is a part of the American identity? Well, hygge is part of the Danish identity. And they spend a lot of time doing hygge activities. And I'm going to give you some ideas today about how you can bring the art of hygge into your life and how you can enjoy and make your life a much lovelier at this time of year. So the first thing about practicing the art of hygge is you need to work out what is hyggeligt, or what is cozy for you. It could be for some people like me, they like to sit in their PJs and read a good book in the evenings. It could be that going out for dinner with your friends or creating a meal for your friends is a hyggeligt thing to you. So find out what makes your life hyggeligt. What is it that really gives you that feeling of contentment? So you can like brainstorm a list or just give it some thought, because the more aware you are of what is hyggeligt in your life, the more you're going to start to experience it. If you're going to go for the all-out Danish experience of hygge, there are a few items that you need to really get started. The first thing is candles. Any Dane will tell you that candles are an essential part of hygge. And I love the experience when I first came to Denmark, that as soon as it got to a certain point in the evening and we were no longer at work, that candles would be lit and it would start to create this time to relax atmosphere. So if you want to start creating hygge straight away, grab some candles and light them wherever you are so that you can feel warm and cozy inside. So the second thing you're going to need to create hygge is comfy clothes. Personally, I love wearing big warm jumpers, thick socks, pajamas, and in Denmark they've actually created a word for this, which is hyggebukser or hygge trousers, so that when you're experiencing hygge, you change your clothes into something that makes you feel really, really comfortable. So if you want to have a hygge experience tonight, go and get your coziest clothes, the things that make you feel really warm and cozy, and you'll find that glow of hygge starting to light up inside. The third thing you're going to need to get hygge in your life is plenty of pillows and blankets too. There is nothing cozier than sitting on a winter evening, wrapped in a blanket, snuggled on the couch, watching a good film. And that is definitely the feeling of hygge that you're trying to create for yourself. The whole idea is to sit well, to sit comfortably. You know, when I first moved over here, one of my partners, or my first Danish boyfriend, used to say to me, why aren't you sitting comfortably? Why aren't you making the effort to sit comfortably? And I used to feel a little bit offended that he was asking me that. But I realized that actually when I did take the time to sit comfortably, to get cushions for my back, to get a blanket to be warm, that actually I was practicing an act of self-care. So pillows, blankets, get yourself sitting comfortably, you'll start to feel hygge. So you've got your candles, you've got your pillows, you've got your cozy jumper, your hygge boxer, your warm blanket. The next thing you need to experience that lovely glowing warm feeling inside is a warm drink. Now, as a Brit, I absolutely 100% understand the art of drinking tea. And there is something about grabbing a warm mug when it's cold outside and you can see the frost and you're all cozy with candles and warm drinks and blankets, really does create the feeling of hygge and glow of contentment inside. So you've got your candles, you've got your pillows, you've got your cozy jumper, your hygge boxer, your warm blanket. The next thing you need to experience that lovely glowing warm feeling inside is a warm drink. Now, as a Brit, I absolutely 100% understand the art of drinking tea. And there is something about grabbing a warm mug when it's cold outside and you can see the frost and you're all cozy with candles and warm drinks and blankets, really does create the feeling of hygge and glow of contentment inside. So you might think you're completely set now. You've got your hot drink, your candles, your pillows, your blanket, your cozy clothes, your hygge boxer, your tea, but you're not done yet. Because one of the things that is really an important element of hygge is snacks. Now in Denmark they make fantastic homemade food. It's very, very common. It's not something I'm not particularly good at baking. But the idea of arranging snacks in a sort of a tapas way, in small bowls and taking the time to arrange it so that it's nice and everything feels beautiful and simple is a really good element of hygge. So if you're going to sit down and you're going to read a book, why not take a piece of fruit or some pieces of fruit, cut them up, lay them nicely on a plate with a nice drink and your book. It's going to make the experience 10 times nicer and you're going to feel like you're really loved and taken care of. And that is the feeling of hygge. Now, this hygge tip is not a Danish invention, it's one of my own, but I feel like it brings up the feeling of hygge for me, so I wanted to share it with you. And that is the idea of building a pillow fort. It's something we do as kids, but it's something we forget to do as adults. And hygge has this feeling of being in a cocoon. So if you have a day where you don't have a lot to do, or you as a family want to watch a film, why not take a little bit of extra time to put out the pillow forts, get all the pillows, get the blankets, maybe even get the fairy lights, and create this cozy den for the family to see a film in, or for you to snuggle in and do something you really love. I can highly recommend it, and many of my clients have tried it and they recommend it as well. It's a great way of connecting with your inner child, and it's a great way of bringing that joy, that celebration of something simple and fun into your life, which completely encapsulates hygge. Well, we've talked a lot about sitting on the couch and having hygge and lighting your candles, eating nice snacks, but another important element of hygge is actually other people. And one of the great ways that the Danes love to do this is to have people eating together, light the candles on the table, everyone brings some food, sit down, sharing a good meal, sharing a good wine. Similar to in Italy and to France, you see it's part of the cultural expression. It's the same thing here in Denmark. So hygge doesn't just have to be about being on your own and being cozy, it's also about including it with other people and sharing that hygge moment or a hygge experience together with the people you love. Hygge isn't all about candles and blankets because it's about this feeling that you create inside. And one of the ways that the Danes create hygge is also to go out walking in nature. Even in the middle of winter, you can go out and it's that frostbitten air, but you're all warm and cozy, sharing the experience with friends, seeing the beauty of nature, and then coming home again can create that feeling of hygge. And personally, I think it's one of the best ways to experience hygge in the winter. But you can also do it in the summer. The idea of going out for a picnic is hyggelig. The idea of going down to the beach together is hyggelig. Going out for brunch together is hyggelig. It's basically getting outside and doing stuff that makes you feel good. The last thing that you need to remember if you're going to practice the true Danish art of hygge is to make time for it. lighting the candles doesn't take more than a few seconds. Inviting people to come out with you, going for a walk, these can be very small things. And yet, if you don't make time for them, you really don't feel that hygge in your life. You don't feel that contentment in your life. And that's what hygge is all about. It's all about being content. So you have to make time for it. And the more you take time for it, the more self-care you're practicing, and thus the lovelier life's going to be. I hope that you find your own way to hygge and to experience that warm fuzzy feeling inside that is the hyggeligt feeling. I'm going to see you on Wednesday. Don't forget to check out the article on my blog about the Danish Art of Hygge, and why don't you write down in the comments and let me know, what does hygge mean to you? What makes you feel that cozy contentment? And how are you going to create hygge for yourself right here today? Because I want you to get out there and be inspired to do this for you, so you start to create a lovelier life for you. Remember to share the video, subscribe, ring the bell so you can hear when the next video comes up from Reroute Your Life. And I hope that you have a wonderful time in between now and then. I've got my blanket, I've got my candles and my cup of tea, so I am going to lay back and hygge mig. Going to be cozy myself, and I hope that until next week you enjoy the journey.